One of the biggest issues that I come across with a lot of beginner and intermediate guitarists is that many of them can fall into the habit of only learning a riff from a song. That's great and all. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I did the same thing for many years when I first started playing guitar. Just learn a riff that I think sounds cool, never actually play through an entire song. This can be really detrimental to your playing, and actually taking the time and dedication to learn the song all the way through can benefit your playing so much. Just playing the riff, you're missing out on so many things. The main two things that you're gonna be missing out on are practicing your rhythm and practicing playing on time. It can be pretty easy just to play a riff. You're pretty much in time for the whole thing, but then you're done. Playing and sticking with the beat the whole time for an entire song is much more challenging, but you're gonna wanna start developing that skill early instead of just learning riffs and then jumping to the next thing. Second really important thing that you're going to be missing out on if you're only learning riffs is endurance. Being able to sit there and play through an entire song, say even a 2-minute song, is going to be really challenging if you're just used to playing a single riff and then moving on to something else. You may develop some bad habits that you have no idea are even there because they're not going to come into play until you start trying to play longer songs or playing for longer without stopping. One huge problem that can develop if you're doing that is way too much tension in both your left and your right hand. Playing for a 5-second riff, you're not going to notice any issues, but as soon as you start playing, even for 30 seconds at a time, you may notice your hands start getting fatigued. And the problem there is not that your hands aren't strong enough or that you haven't been playing for a long time, it's that you have too much tension. Gripping your pick too hard, hitting the strings too hard, death gripping onto the neck. You don't need to do any of that. To play the heaviest music, to make your guitar sound awesome, you don't need to be using so much force. If you're playing electric guitar, let the amp do the work for you. You also want to leave room for that dynamic variation. If you're gripping super tight and beating the crap out of your guitar the whole time, it's going to sound like that all the time, and you're not going to have those dynamic variations. I know it can seem like a really daunting task to learn an entire song. You may be going onto the internet, ultimateguitar.com, whatever it is that you're using to see all these tabs or the sheet music that you're learning, and you see 20 pages of this song. What you want to learn how to do, and a great technique that doesn't even involve playing the guitar really, is how to analyze a song and really understand what's going on. You may have a 20-page song, Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. Song's 5 minutes. Pretty long song, but if you break it down, if you look at the music and you listen to it and you analyze what's actually going on, there's only 3 riffs in that song. We have a verse, a chorus, and a bridge. You learn 3 riffs, you could play the entire 5-minute song. It's really not a lot to learn. Get those riffs down, play them at a slow speed at first, and practice playing along with the whole track or with a metronome to make sure you're locking in with the rhythm. Really great way to practice, something that I love doing myself, is right here on YouTube, you can click the little gear button, go to playback speed, and you can set any song you want down to a lower speed, and it'll keep the pitches the same. So you could play along with the song at a slower speed and practice getting through the whole thing. Once you're comfortable with that, you can slowly move the speed up over time, and then you'll be playing at full speed eventually. Some songs, of course, are longer and are gonna have more complicated sections to memorize. I definitely recommend, if you're not used to playing full songs, look for ones that only have a couple riffs that you can play along with all the way through. You don't wanna start with something like Tornado of Souls where you have to memorize 15 different riffs. That's gonna be much more challenging. But if you're a more advanced guitarist and you have experience playing along with songs, definitely want to try pushing yourself to get that kind of thing memorized and be able to play along with something that's longer and more challenging. There's even a lot of songs out there that are just one riff or one chord progression for the entire thing. That kind of invalidates my point a little bit here, because you can just learn the one riff and play all the way through the song, which is awesome, but you definitely want to actually practice playing along through the entire song. It'll help you in leaps and bounds with your playing ability. Really quickly, you're going to notice a huge difference just getting used to playing more. The endurance in both of your hands is going to be much, much higher, and you'll start to clean up a lot of bad techniques without even having to think about it too much, because you're going to need to get through these songs. If you're a beginner or intermediate and there's a guitar solo in the song, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. Just try to play the underlying rhythm. But if you want to push yourself, give yourself a good challenge, definitely try those guitar solos out as well. Play along with those, and sticking with the rhythm with that can be much more challenging. If you guys have any questions about this, or if there's any songs that you guys would recommend for practicing and playing all the way through, maybe some with just a couple riffs, let me know in the comments below so that can really help other people out. Some pretty straightforward ones if you guys need a few to work on. Basically anything Nirvana. You could do Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are. Those are a few great ones, only a couple riffs in there to work on. Pretty much every Green Day song only has like 2 or 3 riffs in it, tops. There's a few Metallica songs like Enter Sandman you could get down that only have a couple riffs in there. A lot of fun ones to try out. If you guys found this video helpful and you want more content just like this, leave a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great one.